Now, it's okay not to know, but when you don't know that you don't know, and you think you know, that's when you really have a problem. So in today's video, I'm going to help you to know something that I've learned that I think can help you in the long run. So come on inside, sit back, relax. Let's get down to the business. Now, I think all of us can agree that the main reason we start a business is to make money. Yes, of course, we have aspirations to be our own boss. We want to control more of our time and all of that good stuff. That's great. But the main purpose is to make money, a lot of money. And we aspire to do that. We have these goals. We start out with a lot of energy and effort around that, but it's interesting that most of us never reach that goal. We never get to the goal of making a lot of money. Now, I think there's a specific reason for that. And I think it comes down to we get tunnel vision. We start to look at that one business that we're running. If you're a truck driver, you're just focused on driving trucks. If you're a freight broker, you're just focused on brokering freight. And that's good for a period of time. I think that is important to have an anchor business, right? You have to have a business that you start and you start making money in that business, a substantial amount of money. But when you get tunnel vision and you're just focused on that business, what happens when you're not making the same amount of money as you were in the previous year? Of course, your profits suffer. The money that you have coming in, your cash flow suffers. And unfortunately, sometimes that's for longer periods of time than you expected. So you're never getting to the point where you're making enough money to sustain yourself, to sustain your family's lifestyle. And what ends up happening is you end up quitting, getting out of that business, right? Now, I think the solution to that problem is that once you get a business up and running, and that business now, that's your baby, and you have it where it's profitable, it's making good money, then it's time to branch off and do something else. If you take a look at some of the best entrepreneurs that this country knows, they are all going to do multiple things. Now, I'm not saying you should do that prematurely. I think it's important to get that first company, that anchor business, to start making money first. If you take a look at one of the richest people in the world, Elon Musk, look at all of the different businesses that he's involved in, right? All of the different entrepreneurial things that he's done throughout his life. It just wasn't Tesla, it just wasn't Twitter, it just wasn't Neuralink, it just wasn't PayPal. It was a combination of different things that he's done, and he's continued to look for other opportunities. I think sometimes we can get complacent. When we start making money, we just start to look at that thing that we're doing without understanding that there are going to come times where that business is not doing as well as you would like. If you take a look at the S&P 500, that's the top 500 businesses in the United States of America. And if you look at the top 10, that top 10 changes. If you look at the top 10 for a 10-year period, and then you look at it for another 10-year period, it's very likely 5, 6 of those businesses are going to be outside of that top 10. Why is that? Because the landscape changes. You know, what people want changes. If you look at Tesla, in 2015, I think it was, the stock was about $16 or $17. And 2021, it went all the way up to $400. Now it's back to $123. Well, that's because things change. The consumer's mind changes. Other people come into that space and they start making electric cars too. Competition gets into space, and you don't make as much money as you once did. And of course, the stock starts to go down. And then you have things that happen just like it's happening right now with the feds, where they're raising rates. And of course, that's going to make it harder for people to buy cars. So things are always changing. Opportunities are changing. So as entrepreneurs, we have to change. We have to do things that are outside of your main thing, right? You have to, at some point, look at something else and say, okay, well, there may be more opportunity over here in this particular area now. So I need, as an entrepreneur, to bring solutions to a different thing right now, right? So I think it's always about looking for the next opportunity. As entrepreneurs, I think we need to be thinking about what's next. What is your next venture? What is the next thing that you're going to do? Because if you're just focused on one thing, that can end up getting you into a situation where you've been working on a business, you've been giving it your all, you've been doing this thing for 10 years now, And now that the landscape has changed and you're not making the same money that you were making, as a matter of fact, you may even be losing money, now you have to give up that business. You have to quit. And now you don't have any other venture that you can slide right into and keep going. Making money is about taking advantage of opportunities, right? It's about being able to see what's coming. I think they have a saying that says you skate to where the puck is going, not necessarily where it is right now, but where you see the puck is going. That's the same way in business. We have to skate to the opportunity, move ourselves to where the opportunities are, and then make a business around where those opportunities are. Don't get yourself so tunnel visioned that you're only looking at one thing. Because if you do that, if you just focus on one thing and you focus on that thing for too long, it could cause you some serious issues. It could cause you to end up going broke, right? So entrepreneurship is good. I think it's a great thing to be an entrepreneur. I absolutely love the challenges that it brings. But it's also something that you have to look at and say to yourself, okay, what am I going to do after this particular business, or in conjunction with this business? What else is out there for me to do? What is next? Always be thinking in your mind about what you're going to do next. I think that if you stay in that mind frame, if you always stay in that state of mind of saying what's next, it helps you to stay on top of opportunities. It helps you to stay ahead of the game. And when you don't do that, you get behind and you end up falling by the wayside. Your business falls by the wayside and you don't get to make the money that you want to make. Yes, there's plenty of money out there to be made. But the question is, who's positioned the best to take advantage of opportunities? And to me, the more you look for the next thing, the more you look toward the future to see what is it that people are doing now. What's different about what people are doing now as compared to what they'll be doing 2-3 years from now, right? And the further we can look into the future, I think the better. Now, I don't think you necessarily need to be looking 20 years down the road. You know, I'm more so about taking advantage of opportunities that are in front of me 2 to 3 years down the road. Now, as you get more seasoned, as you start to learn more about the landscape, as you learn more about consumers, then you can start to look for longer range things. But 2, 3, maybe 5 years down the road, you can look that far down the road and say, how can I create a product? How can I create a service that is going to be something that's needed, that people need in the future? And when you can figure that out, I think that's when you have the best opportunity to capitalize on the different opportunities that are going to be out there for you, that are going to be out there for business owners. Now, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I want to make this clear. I am not saying to go out and start something else before you get your main thing going. Make sure you get your freight brokerage or your trucking business up and running first so that it's making money, consistent money, before you start something else. But once you get that up and running, definitely look for the next opportunity. Also, I want to leave you a free link in the description. It's going to help you to get off to the best start in your freight broker business. If you're looking for a load board, and I believe that TRUCKSTOP is one of the best load boards out there, I'm going to leave a free link in the description that gives you 50% off of one of TRUCKSTOP's best load board. It's called Load Board Pro. It's going to give you 50% off of that load board for a 3-month period. So just make sure that you check the description for that link. Also, if you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description as well. It's my 5-video series, and it's titled How the Load Movement Process Works. Give you a chance to come into the office with me, and you can watch me on video as I move loads, talk to shippers and carriers, to give you a better understanding of how this business works before you come into it. So have a great day. Have a wonderful week. I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.